Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text number 41. Contents of the Gita summarized. Vyavasyatmaka buddhir
Vyavasatmakaya buddhi
ekaya kurundana
Ekahi Kurunandana
bahushakaya nantascha
Bahushakani Vashtanti
buddhayo vyavasayanam
Udayo Vasayanam
Vyavasyatmaka,
Yavasmitaka
resolute in purpose in Krishna consciousness. Buddhi,
Buddhi
intelligence.
Intelligence
Eka,
Eka
only one.
Only one
Iha,
Iha
in this world.
In this world
Kurunandana,
Kurunandana
O beloved child of the Kurus.
O beloved child of the Kuru
Bahushaka,
Bahushaka
having various branches.
Having various branches
He,
Indeed
Ananta,
Ananta
unlimited.
Unlimited
Cha, also. Buddhaya, intelligence. Avyavasyayanam,
Avavasayanam
of those who are not in Krishna consciousness.
Of those who are not in the Krishna consciousness.
Translation. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. Purport. A strong faith that by Krishna consciousness one will be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vasyatmaka intelligence. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 2262 states, Shada Shabde Vishvasa Kahi Sudrita Nischai Krishna Bhakti Kali Sarva Karma Kritahai. Faith means unflinching trust in something supreme. When one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family traditions, humanity, or nationality. Fruit of activities are the engagements of one's reactions from past good or bad deeds. When one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he need no longer endeavor for good results in his activities. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on the absolute plane, for they are no longer subject to dualities like good or bad. The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material conception of life. This state is automatically achieved by progressive Krishna consciousness. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with a torchlight of knowledge. I opened my eyes. I tied that very tight. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Actually, in this verse, you can see the revolutionariness of Krishna consciousness. It's revolutionary in the sense that it's not the normal material type of thinking, and because it really kind of hits the nail on the head as regards performing activities. Like for instance, what it says here is that he need not act in relationship to the material world with obligation to family traditions, humanity, or nationality. I mean, there's so many activities at the moment are based on those things, and nationality. People actually they devote their whole lives to a nation, and are prepared to even make the ultimate sacrifice of their life, putting it on the line for some nation. And you have, literally speaking, I think the majority, a huge percentage of the world are in that consciousness. So Krishna consciousness, when somebody asks you, is it a religion? You kind of say, no, it's not really a religion. It's a science. It's a spiritual science. And this is why, because even if you say, if you're from are you this particular religion? Are you Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Jewish? You kind of have to say, well, no, not really. You have to say it really. I mean, some scholars, they might put it in a specific bracket like that. But no, it means that you give up all of those designations. You just, and you really do need to fight for that. One of the best means of fighting actually is to give Krishna consciousness to others, because you really have to fight to do that. Because people are not interested; they don't want to know better. They're basically they're completely convinced of the narrative that their life has undergone from the beginning, and especially now that it's legitimized by the newspapers, by the politicians. It's legitimized by so many different things. So therefore, they actually think that is the situation. It's very hard to concentrate if some people are chanting. So if people are chanting here, this is the class time. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. Everybody here in the room. I don't think they want to hear. It's very difficult to concentrate when I hear chanting going on in the background. I can't do it. Yeah. So that's really why it is such a revolution, Krishna consciousness. And when we're actually also trying to give Krishna consciousness to others, that is also, one has to be on a kind of fighting platform. Because Prabhupada says in one purport that to take to Krishna consciousness, or to give Krishna consciousness to others, is like declaring war on the material energy. And the reason for that is that because the material energy's job is to keep people here in the material world. That's her service, her seva. And she's kept us here in the material world for many lifetimes, we can say, from time immemorial. So that is why it's such a strong activity to give Krishna consciousness to others. And you might say as well as that's why you don't have a huge uptake, because people are very they're very attached to what they're very attached to what the material world has given them to date, and it's very rare that people want to actually get out of this. And the general tendency, Prabhupada talks about it in this whole chapter, is the trying to perform devotional service and at the same time take God to be impersonal. It's like the impersonal understanding of God. And or even before that, it's kind of like jnana yoga, karma yoga, which means that you're acting in this material world so that you'll get some material benefit. Because you have some sort of a taste for pleasure. In that sense, we're all pleasure seeking. And therefore, when we get some pleasure, because we're covered by Maya, we think that pleasure, that material pleasure, is what will make us happy. It's what we pursue in life. And we're constantly looking for this constant little bits of pleasure here and there all the time. Of course, we neglect and we forget about the fact that there's a lot of pain as well. There's a lot of displeasure going on. And so we tend to try to get that out of our minds, and then the successful person is the person who is the biggest spoof. That means the person who can pretend the most that he's having pleasure. Oh yes, I've got this and I've got that, and we're all wonderful. That's the successful person. That is the biggest pretender. Because philosophically, Prabhupada also talked about this in the very beginning here about knowledge. You have to have knowledge of what is the situation itself. The knowledge of the mind, knowledge of the body, and knowledge of the spirit soul. And that's Sambandha. Abhideya means that you start to act on that knowledge. You perform activities based on that knowledge, Abhideya. And then Prayojana means that you're on the spiritual platform, on the topmost platform. So generally, people, they don't have the knowledge, and therefore they identify with their body, and they identify with the pleasures of the body, and they pursue the pleasures of the body, and pleasures of the mind, and generally they form societies. Have different societies where, like you have a football club, you have a snooker club, you have an accountancy club, you have, people kind of gather together and they reinforce the pleasures. I mean, my business is art, and have people coming in and reinforcing the importance of art, and how it's so important in life. Art without God, it doesn't have any place actually in reality. It is, again, it's a covered over type of pleasure, and ultimately you need, and it's in art to reach art in the service of God, and that is actually what Prabhupada talks about in the next part here. When one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family traditions, humanity, or nationality. We are all very, absorbed in family situations. It's not easy not to be. I mean, and oftentimes we actually need it as well, because we're not completely spiritually evolved. Someone who is actually spiritually evolved, we understand Krishna is so kind to them that he will liberate 10 generations before and after of his family. So that's the real benefit that we can have for family. But also because we have, you could say we have psychological needs. Like, and this again is the, the power of devotional service. Not that we can live it in isolation. The second phase, the second part of spiritual life is sadhu sangha. We start off with a little faith, but then we associate with devotees. And the reason then that there is so much power in that association is that the devotees are earnestly trying to serve Krishna. And if they're earnestly trying to serve Krishna, then they will not be on, it's one of the qualifications for understanding Bhagavad Gita is to be nirmatsana satam, means to be non-envious. Be non-envious of other living entities. Prabhupada even kind of extended that to be non-envious of other species. There's a famous verse, Anita Samadarshana. And in the purport, Prabhupada talks about not being envious of different species as well, and how to respect all living entities. One real big problem in this world, especially in Ireland, and probably the reason why it has had so many wars or so much bad weather, is because it just does not respect any animals, especially cow, which should be respected the most. And subsequently, the amount of karma that's unleashed on this country because of that is unprecedented, I suppose. Another country, Argentina, will be in that category as well. So we have to have respect for all living entities, and as it said here, we are not on the platform of humanity, family traditions, or nationality. So the devotee, even at the very early stages, is involved with, associates with devotees, and then he comes to the next stage, sadhusanga, prajna kriya, which means practicing rules and regulations, and then anartha nivritti. That's when all the impurities in the heart actually start to vanish, or start to go away. So we'll notice in these scriptures that Prabhupada talks about a pure devotee being on the topmost platform. And it is often explained to us that actual topmost platform. And this is one instance of that. But it's like Srila Prabhupada's teachings. We have to follow these teachings for like 30, 40, 50 years even, because they get deeper and deeper and deeper. Because he's presenting the full Krishna consciousness here already, right from the beginning. We're giving out all these Bhagavad Gita, so if anybody comes across this phrase that we need not act in relation to the material world with obligations to family, traditions, humanity, or nationality. Does that mean you give up your studies now tomorrow?
If we are engaging that in the service of Krishna,
Yes.
it becomes spiritual.
Because that's what he says. When one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not act in relationship to the material world. And this is the difference as well. Fruitive activities are the engagements of one's reactions from past good or bad deeds. So we've already got the past good or bad deeds that are fructifying in us now. And we think that that's us who is acting. Prakriti kriyamana nikumani kamani samashaham ahankara viyotanas karta manite. The living entity thinks himself the doer of activities that are in fact carried out by nature. So that nature is all the past deeds just enacting themselves out in our life. And we are prompted how to act because of our past deeds by the super soul within. This 15:15. Which Savasya Chaham Vidi Satanishta. What's his next name? Kadash just said that I have made the job with that. So the super soul inside us is prompting us to act because of our past reactions. But it's also, super soul's also giving us always a chance to perform activities in Krishna consciousness. That's the difference, He asks us to perform those activities in Krishna consciousness, and so we have to become we have to become very alert to be in Krishna consciousness, so that we can hear the super soul speaking to us when and when not to act. It's coming from the intuition. The pure devotee is directed directly from Krishna. It's just told what to do for him. Krishna says never do this, never do that. And what we have is we've got a mixture of our past desires and artists which haven't been cleared up yet, or also from our past activities prompting us to do activities. So isn't it really incumbent, a great idea for us to become Krishna conscious in this lifetime? So we really get to know what it is like to be a person, to be a devotee in Krishna consciousness as who we are. And that actually brings itself into the stage of where even in this lifetime, we can understand how to act in Krishna consciousness. So, so we actually go directly to the spiritual world. We're trained even here in the material world for our next life. So these are some of the very high teachings from this philosophy. So I just want to read off from that. Yeah, the Prabhupada says, when one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he need no longer endeavor for good results in his activities. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on the absolute plane, for they are no longer subject to dualities like good and bad. The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material conception of life. I really, really, really like that. The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material conception of life. Because we've been conditioned so much how to live in material life. Like when I look back in my life, I'm from such a part of Dublin. I spent some time in different parts of Ireland. I went abroad sometimes. But none of these things are really proper activities. These are all just kind of following certain patterns based on my own karma. And even when I look at my parents, although from a spiritual point of view, they're spirit souls, but from a material point of view, they are the bearers of my karma, and I am the bearers of their karma as well. So, I am not that son of those parents, as we so clearly see in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is like laying bare all the misconceptions of the material world, especially when Chitralekha, was it King Chitraketu? Yeah, when he had so much need for a son, and he had so many wives, he couldn't have a son. Then eventually he got a son when the sages, Angira and Nara, they asked him, "Oh, you look so distressed. What's wrong?" And he said, "Because I need to have a son because," and it was kind of understandable because he was a king, so he needed an heir. At that time, they took their responsibility very seriously. So from that perspective, it was very noble what he was thinking. But they told him he would have a son called Harsha-shoka. And Harsha-shoka means happiness and distress. So that meant that eventually he had the son, and then because only one queen had the son, the other queens were envious, and so all the attention was given to that queen, so they ultimately killed the son. So then the king and the queen became totally distressed, and they were crying and wailing, and then eventually Angira came back. So I told you so. But what they did though, they brought the son back into the body of the baby, and then the baby said, they asked the child, look, are you not, look at what's happened to your father and mother, who you have actually made such great distress for them. And he said, which father and mother? He said, I have had many, many, millions and millions of fathers and mothers. So therefore, it was kind of very, very, the Bhagavad Gita actually lays bare the naked truth. Because he was so attached to this child, he's so attached to having something in this world. Can you imagine? I mean, I don't know if anyone ever here thinks of what's the worst possible thing that could happen to you. And now, in Krishna consciousness, sometimes we're tested, with that as well. And if you're not in Krishna consciousness, you're also tested. So you're going to be tested one way or the other. Better to be tested in knowledge and knowing that Krishna is a benevolent God, that you are given this karma for your own benefit. That is not easy sometimes. It's not easy to take that, But in Krishna consciousness, we become trained. We develop, instead of going to the gym, so I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going to the gym, but instead we're going to the spiritual gym so that we can be trained up how to understand these things that happen to us. When Srila Prabhupada, when he was talking to his disciples one time, he was telling them, there's a famous verse, and I could never get it, and I always ask people about it. It's where it's explained where that when Krishna really is favorable to you, he takes away your material benefits or opulences. And it's probably quoted on many occasions. And he quoted it one time among his disciples, and they all kind of laughed because they saw afterwards what happened when Krishna took away that. And probably looked at them really sternly and said, "It's not funny when it's happening to you." It's extremely difficult when it's happening to you. So, therefore, this is where we're giving the spiritual training, and also when we're given the, and this is why Krishna consciousness is constant. It's not a recreational thing. It's something which we have to learn how to practice. It's a haitiki apatihata, uninterrupted and unmotivated to completely satisfy the self. And again, another activity which is not easy to perform, unmotivated and uninterrupted saying. But in the Nectar of Instruction, it's in the verses 6, 7, 8, I'm not sure. Prabhupada quotes Bhaktisiddhanta explaining about the different levels of intensity of devotional service. Sometimes one performs some devotional service intermittently, he calls it, I think. Or at least that's the meaning that he uses. That because we're not able, we're not really able. We don't have the spiritual muscles in that sense, or the adhikar, or the mercy from Krishna, and we're still attached to the material world, and we still also need the mercy of the pure devotee, so that we can become, like Prabhupada again said, the price of devotional service is your desire to have it. He talked about lolium. Lolium means intense greed for devotional service. That means no matter what, you're just going to shove everything else aside and go for it. Sometimes I do in my downtime, which is not Krishna consciousness, but I still try to take a message from it in some of these boxing fights or martial arts kind of fights. You kind of see sometimes the intensity over 10 rounds, 12 rounds, whatever. And so I kind of look at it and I think, wow, if I had that intensity in devotional service, I would be really doing well. I would be knocking Maya away, including looking at this. But anyway, I'd be knocking Maya away, non-stop. But that is not. It's not so far away. That's what I get from all my spiritual teachers, basically. That this kind of level of intensity isn't so far, isn't so removed that we cannot benefit from it. And just getting back to this verse, actually, the resolute purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge. Vasudeva sarvamati samaha asudurlabha. Bahunam janmanante jnanavatmante pachate. Vasudeva sarvamati. Bahunam janmanante. Out of many thousands of men, one may endeavor for perfection. And out of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows it in truth. So that's what we're trying to aim at. Prabhupada says, a person in Krishna consciousness is a rare good soul who knows perfectly that Vasudeva Krishna is the root of all manifested causes. As by watering the root of a tree, one automatically distributes water to the leaves and branches. So by acting in Krishna consciousness, one can render the highest service to everyone, namely self, family, society, country, humanity. Isn't that just beautiful how Prabhupada did that? Do you see those two paragraphs? The first one says, no, we have no obligation to this, to humanity, to family, or anything. And then he turns it right on his head. In fact, the only way you can have any benefit to humanity is to act by serving Krishna, by watering the root of the tree, and by seeing Krishna everywhere. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. So that sort of intensity, that's why even a millisecond of association with a devotee, with a person in Krishna consciousness, 1 millisecond of association with a person can burn all your material desires like that. And the reason for that is because their intensity. Their intensity. It's like when the iron is in the fire, then the iron becomes the fire. So a devotee who is practicing Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada says he's more merciful than Krishna. More merciful. Because he can give you Krishna. So that's why the intensity of the devotee is what brings us and which gives us strength to practice. And it's a joy as well to behold when you see a person who's in Krishna consciousness and they're just explaining the depths of Krishna consciousness or just even acting. And an action speaks louder than words. What a person is doing, then you can understand their intensity. And the beauty of an intense spiritual teacher is that they're not out to just sort of to mollycoddle you. Sometimes we all need care, we all need sympathy, sensitivity, but at the same time we need facts as well, and we need strength. Because, let's face it, the material world ends in death. So that's pretty heavy in that sense. Like how Krishna teaches us. Sometimes people try to pretend that the world is full of beautiful, angels and everybody's wonderful and we're all brilliant. And, this kind of an airy fairy philosophy that everything is brilliant. But like, what about death then? Just throw death into the mixture. It's lovely as well. So Krishna is a very powerful teacher as well. He's not sentimental. One of my teachers, Tribhuvan, he says, "Oh, Krishna consciousness is not sentimentality." He had this accent and he'd say it, and because even though we are very sympathetic, and a devotee is Doya Bak, isn't it? Doya. What is it? He's full of compassion for all conditioned souls. So he's compassionate to all the fallen conditioned souls. But he's not sentimental to them, Like he doesn't, if somebody has a disease like alcoholism or something, it's not, and he's dying for a drink, he's like, okay, there you go, there's a drink, that'll keep you happy there. He's not like that. No, he's actually telling you the truth. He's the only person, he's your only friend, the only real friend, because he's not going to give you any false expectation. But a very expert teacher can deliver the medicine very, very, very expertly, so that you can take it and at the same time you're making advancement. And this is what we've seen here in these 2 paragraphs by Srila Prabhupada, because first of all he gives us the reality, but then he comes back and tells us that if we actually take the Krishna consciousness, all that you would want with your family and your nation and all of that, you can only achieve by becoming Krishna conscious, by acting Krishna consciousness. Then probably the next verse talks about the spiritual master. Service in Krishna consciousness is, however, best practice under the able guidance of a spiritual master, who is a bona fide representative of Krishna, who knows the nature of the student and who can guide him to act in Krishna consciousness. As such, to be well versed in Krishna consciousness, one has to act firmly to obey the representative of Krishna, and one should accept the instruction of the bona fide spiritual master as one's mission in life. Now that's particularly pertinent to us as particularly pertinent to us today, because we're trying to perform the Srila Prabhupada marathon, which Prabhupada took the instructions of his spiritual master. That's what he said was his only qualification. He said, pure, pure devotee Krishna. But he said his only qualifications is that he took the instruction of his spiritual master as his life and soul, which was to distribute. I've asked several of my spiritual guides, what is the most important thing? Because if you get an instruction like that, it means that, if I do that, then, looks like that could be the winning run. And nearly every one of them said, well, I think the best thing is to try to follow what Prabhupada says, is to distribute this spiritual far and wide. So even by just doing that activity, I was talking to about Giriraj today, and we had an exchange. And just by following the instruction of these great souls, we don't really have to even get to know about all the details of why, all that kind of thing. Just do it, just by following the instruction. We automatically get onto the and this is what it said here in the verse, because he talks about Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and we say this verse every morning. Yasya prasada bhagavat prasada yasya prasada nakati gato dayam stubam stasya yasya sangam vandegaro shichana. By satisfaction of the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes satisfied. It's a translation. And by not satisfying the spiritual master, there's no chance of being promoted to the plane of Krishna consciousness. I should therefore meditate and pray for his mercy 3 times a day and offer my respectful obeisances unto him, my spiritual master. I think that the 3 times a day possibly is to do with the Gayatri mantra, because we chant that in the morning time before sunrise, at noontime, and before moonrise as well. And there's this prayer to the spiritual master as well. But we should, in reality, when we're chanting the 16 manas, we're doing that as well. We're praying to the spiritual master too, because he has given us the holy name. The whole process, however, depends on perfect knowledge of the soul beyond the conception of the body. So, and it says, not theoretically, but practically, when there is no longer a chance for sense gratification manifested in fruitive activities. And I just wanted to say that particular verse, that particular thing is very important when we're talking to new people, and especially if we do get the course in one of the colleges and whatever, and it's like paramount importance to differentiate between the body, the mind, and the soul. It's knowledge basically, and it is our siddhanta. So as soon as possible for us to introduce that really gives people that chance. It gives them the hook on which to get into all the other stages basically. And then Robert goes on to say, one who is not firmly fixed in mind is diverted by various types of fruitive acts. There's a whole section of verses 42 and 43, and it's also 45. I'm just going to read the English of those first, because it talks about a different distraction from Krishna consciousness. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas. And this is what the flowery words of the Vedas say, that is really, really important, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. So that very much resembles the current world situation. The whole system whereby we go to school, we learn knowledge, we get a job, we have a house, we have a family. It's all meant to be, this is great, I have a great job, I have a great wife, I have a great family, I have a great husband, I have a great the more I have, the better it is. So, in Bharatvarsh in India, thousands of years ago, the science was even more refined, whereby they could dictate much higher life duration and life expectancy and life enjoyment of the senses in the heavenly planets. They actually could direct themselves at the point of death to those places. They had that ability. But it's a waste of time. Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punara Vartina Arjuna. From the highest planet in this material down to the lowest, all are places of misery or suffering wherein repeated birth and death takes place. So therefore, the tendency that we have just to try to enjoy this temporary world is what will keep us in the wheel of samsara, of birth and death and birth and death. Because we want something, and when we want something for the imaginary self, which is called the false ego, which is more subtle than the mind and the intelligence, when we want something like that, then we actually need another body. So therefore, we come back again. So we don't want that. So we try to train ourselves so as not, and it's not that we stop desiring. No, we desire because we have senses. We're people. We're persons. We actually perform activities, but in a different consciousness. We train ourselves to act in a different consciousness, and that's coming back to the activities in relation to the spiritual master, the instruction of the spiritual master. Because when we're doing that, then we're satisfying the senses of Krishna, and of course, the reason for that is because that is the only way that we can be happy. Yeah, that we're not the controller, we're not the enjoyer, we're not, the enjoyer of sacrifices. We're not the controller. So we're not the best friend of everybody. No, that's not our position. So if we can learn how to, Trinada peace in Janato or peace in if you can learn to live in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the strong in the street, thinking oneself lower than the street, and which should be devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects unto others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly, which we'll be doing in a few minutes. So the special character to the chanting that we do is, it's not we're chanting for our own enjoyment. The enjoyment will be there, but we're chanting to please Krishna. And there will be much, much greater enjoyment because we will relink religion means to relink. We will relink with the supreme source of everything. And by that relinking process, we are energized. Just like we don't know how our heart is beating, we don't know how when we eat our food, we don't know how everything just completely works in our body. We just kind of eat and then all of these things are happening automatically. So like our whole life is like that. We're getting constantly so many gifts from the Supreme. We don't have any ownership of any of these things. These are all given to us and they're all going on all of the time. But when we chant and offer that chanting back to the Supreme Source of everything, then our awareness becomes much higher. We have a much higher state of awareness of who we are and what our relationship is in this world. So that's why that verse is there, Trinada Pisa Vichana. Yeah. So that we can chant in that humble state of mind, we can learn how to be lower than the strong on the street and to offer all respects to others. So I will finish with the verse today. I didn't give much time. But the Vedas deal mainly with the three subjects, three modes of material nature, O Arjuna. Become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. Anyway, I probably will take 42 to 45 the next time. Sorry I didn't get any time for questions and stuff. But we'll definitely get it stuck into that next week, 42 to 45. Because there's loads in there. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki.
Jai.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Stana. Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimani Satsavita Srimani Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityananda Namaste Saraswati Devi Guru Hari Kacharya Nirvishesha Sanya Radha Prasthita Rosacharya Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakti Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Hare
We have a special guest to the back too.
Wow, special guest. Wow. Yeah. Special.
Arrivo Roberto.
Hariyo.
No, go. He's Italian, he's shy. Take your time. We don't judge you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Next one. I'm talking.
I'm sorry.
You survived. No. No. He's in Italy. Fine. Go.
I can accompany if you want.
That guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I can, if you sing, I can play.
If you sing that, play.
You are singing. Oh yeah, the cameras here. You see it.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishaya Bhutale
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
You want to Bible process?
I understand.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Rama Rama Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare
Давно вже кіт уміє. Кіт право вже грає. А кіт право слухав грає.
Would it be okay if we had like a Bhagavad Gita and we could pass it around, and if people want to learn like a part of it, like saying the lead mantra, they can hold it and sing, and that way we'll know if somebody wants to sing or not. Would that be?
Like talking to.
What do you think?
No, it's good when you just pick
Just pick people. Okay. Well, if people would like to sing, I'm going to be trying to look at you, but my eyes are a little funny. So if I'm looking at you, I probably am looking at you. I'm looking to your side, and if you like to sing yourself.
Okay, kind of get it.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Thank you for all the beautiful singing. Nothing special. Everything's hot. Thank you.
सर्व भक्ति विघ्न श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव भगवान की
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste
Namaste Narasimhaya. भगवान की भक्तराज प्रहलाद महाराज की जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की गौर प्रेमानंद हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय।